and shit. I'm there, the first nigga on the scene.
Who fucking
whooping bitches' asses with two faces?
Media.
You couldn't even catch this bitch last week.
Who criminalizes people? Who turns people
They did it to the X-Men too. It's like, you feel me? They're trying to save the world.
The media.
And they were looked at as a villain because maybe one person died. Jean Grey did some shit and one person died versus the fact that she just saved millions of people. They're like, oh wait, this bitch is a menace. We can't deal with her. So it's just kind of like anybody could be a good person that's a villain. You can do all the good in the world, and there's gonna be somebody that sees something wrong with what you did somewhere. It's gonna be a 10% chance that you could have did something different to that person.
Yeah, what you think?
It's easier to be a villain.
Easier to be a villain?
Yeah. Even though you want to do the good shit, it's something gonna drive you to do something negative, do something bad. It's at some point in life. You know what I mean? And that's what it's like the serpent with the damn snake and Adam and Eve. Like that's where shit stems from. Like they're supposed to be quote unquote Jesus told the people who never been to people but disobeyed. So yeah.
John, do you agree? You think it's easier to be a villain?
I think you're gonna have opposition from both sides, bro. It depends on why are you a villain? What are you doing to make a motherfucker feel like you a villain? Do you have any kind of sense in it to where you actually trying to help people, or you just out here fucking shit up, nigga, and you just tearing shit up? Okay, now you're a villain. Or do you have some type of sense in why you a villain? Like, because in that case, you're gonna always have opposition for people who don't think like you, but you're not really trying to hurt people, but you just want them to think correctly so that, you feel me? Everybody could be okay, but you ain't getting that shit. So I'm a villain because I don't think like you. So I you feel me? So you're gonna have people that are gonna think like you, that's gonna help you with the team. You're gonna have opposition. Oh, both sides gonna have opposition. So it's not really, I don't feel like you could be a villain and be easy, or you could be the hero and be easy. I think it's gonna weigh out depending on what type of how it is in what sense. Like, you know what I mean?
Sam, what you think?
Hey, 43rd Scooby.
I would agree. I think it's a lot.
You agree with him?
It's a lot easier to be a villain, like on multiple levels, like on the emotional level, because you're more careless. You don't really care about the consequences of your actions. And this is like when you say villain, in my mind, I'm thinking just somebody who's out causing harm with malicious intent. That's a villain. So yeah, this type of person here, emotionally, they have more range to take back our morals. Physically, they're probably willing to do more than the average person is, so they have the advantage there. It's a lot easier that way. Even if you want to be a hero, if motherfuckers trying to stick by the rules, you're going by some like comic book type lots of shit. They usually try to stay by the law and shit. So yeah, I think on every level where it counts, they have the advantage.
See, what you think?
It just follow.
Ooh.
See here, yo?
I think it depends on perception, because in my eyes, you could be the villain and I can be the hero, and in your eyes, you could be the hero and I could be the villain. It depends on how you perceive it. Perception.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that sounds almost kind of right.
It's the voice.
Perception.
He just thought he was smart. So, what you got, AP?
So when I came up with the question, I was actually watching this little anime on Netflix.
Before you go, can I ask because my real question was, are you the hero or are you
So I was watching this anime on Netflix.
Serve your picture.
Called the
Who I served like AP?
Called the Idun Chronicles.
Cat dumb as fuck, boy.
So as I was watching this show,
That's great.
I was looking at. You think it's gonna have a cat fight off screen or something?
Shut up and let me get down, bro.
This is too much.
You know how Louis gets down, bro. He feel upstage.
Shit.
Oh, God.
Oh God, bro.
You see them creases?
Shut up and let me finish what I'm saying. So I was watching this show on Netflix thing, Doom Chronicles, and as I was watching it, I was watching, nigga.
His pants are crisp. Fucking around, put your subject off. Go ahead, bro.
He loves
Whoa.
it. He loves it. He's a fan.
Bro, both you niggas childish. Shut the fuck up, bro. The two of you niggas. So as I'm watching,
True blood.
bro, and then she snored. The fuck?
I'll try it not to.
Oh, damn. It was too funny.
I'm forcing it in on you.
Oh.
So,
Bro, shut up. I want to shut the fuck up. Go back to the podcast.
Why I gotta be?
so as I'm watching this show, I'm looking at the top evil nigga, his son.
Oh Lord.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, we gonna murder everybody, bro. I don't even blame you, bro. You realize it's been like 15 minutes. You still got something.
I go back to old episodes. Louis always interrupt AP. We can go back to every old episode. Louis always interrupt AP. So the real question is, what you got with AP, Louis?
Cause y'all wasn't catching the other shit that was happening. That shit was fucking fun. Came on. Oh.
So as I'm watching the show, the main head nigga, he got a son. The main head evil nigga, he got a son. And the son is supposed to kill the resistant force and shit. So as I'm watching this shit, and I'm watching what the son has to go through as like the nigga that's supposed to take over the throne after the father dies, and like this evil dude. And it's like I started thinking like I feel like it's much harder to be a villain than it is a hero.
What?
Specifically because when you break it down and look at all the shit that they got to go through to then fail every single time, to never succeed, like they go through hella shit to always at the end of the day fail.
The Joker was getting hoes. He was taking
Villains
hoes
don't
back
never
then.
fail, dog. How many villains they be smacking the
They
shit
never
out of
got
people?
The,
Killing shit,
the
dog.
ultimate goal and plan always fails.
They never
The
got
ultimate
hoes.
mission always fails.
No, it's called predictive programming.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
want you to think that the evil guy always gets caught, but he doesn't.
Yeah, the Joker never really got caught.
None of
He
them
got
really
out.
get caught, G. If that's the case, then why is always somebody evil?
True. He
Why
always,
is it so many?
all right. Listen.
Go ahead.
True, he always got out of shit. You feel me? He was always released and you feel me? Shit always happened. But plans always failed. One.
Uh-huh.
Two, they was always under the threat of their life. Their life was always
Why is
under
it more
on the
villains
line.
than-
But what if
Their life was always, no matter who they dealt with, it was always you either complete this or it's your life. And it's like, well, damn.
maybe Joker wasn't a good explanation, I mean, a good example because he was mental. So it was a lot of times he just wanted to get caught. He liked the chase. It wasn't
He liked
so,
the connection with
Yeah,
Batman.
he
He wanted to
exactly.
make Batman laugh.
He wanted to fuck with him personally. He'd take his bitches. One
Sure.
minute Batman got Ivy, now Joker got
Where he
Uh-huh.
ran Batgirl and paralyzed her for life.
See, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Whoa.
So, yeah,
So
Joker-
we're too deep in the Joker's life. I'm talking about all villains.
I have this weird.
I'm talking about all villains.
Watch out. See, watch out.
Whoa.
Push this nigga in the left.
We're not talking about Joker here.
Okay.
Whoa.
We're not talking about Joker
this
here.
comic shit, bro.
Yeah, you gotta read
Niggas
it.
don't read this comic shit, bro.
Not DC.
Yeah, that. Oh, what you mean? What you
Damn.
got to see, bro?
For sure. For sure.
Go ahead.
talking
bro, my
about?
bad, bro.
What we talking about, bro?
Yeah, we're talking about this shit right now. But
Yeah.
No,
we're
we're not.
not-
It's on AP.
Okay.
Yeah, you ain't no real comic nigga.
Wait, why my life just ended like that?
Oh,
Oh,
not one comic book at the house, bro.
So
our guys right now, dog.
sorry.
every villain,
Uh-huh.
we're not talking about this, but every villain, like if we look at the history and the timeline and all the shits that happened,
Facts.
the heroes always won at the end of the day. The hero, bro.
Hey,
The
P.
heroes always come out.
Why is it more villains than
Bruh.
heroes?
Niggas was not
Got his
supposed,
ass.
bro. Niggas was not
Got
supposed
his
to come
ass.
back once they know
Why
the
is
race,
more
bro.
villains than heroes, nigga?
Listen. Niggas was not supposed to come back after Thanos erased them, bro.
Okay.
For them to always, for them to always,
I'm more heroes than villains.
villains, my
For
nigga.
them to
Really
all,
think
for
about it?
them,
No, they ain't.
Nigga, it be teams of the motherfuckers
Bro.
versus one villain.
one villain, bro.
What
And-
you talking about?
And then mind you, the villains
Nigga,
have
the
minions,
Avengers. Nigga, that's like 10 motherfuckers.
bro. And then, bro, the minions.
Times 10, because they like 10 times the street
Bro,
villains.
that's hella villains.
And then all the villains that work with each other, they always work with each other under the threat of their lives. They're not just working with each other. Oh, no, we cool. It's all good. They're working with each other. Like, you either complete this task or I'm gonna kill you.
None of y'all know nothing about comics, bro.
Bro, Sean Cookie, you really about to get slapped. You ain't got no comics. I ain't even heard you read a comic, bro. I've been to your house. Stop acting like you got comic books, bro. You hear this nigga? I'm like, how do you even read that comic? When did he have time? Where?
See, this shit was rolling smooth before you roll through the door.
What are you
Let's
trying to say?
Let's keep it going. Let's stay on topic.
How do you feel?
Fuck. Was there another?
No, I
If
think.
you got another.
No, you only have one.
No,
So you said okay.
What you better?
True. All right, you saying it's a lot easier to be a hero or a villain?
It's a lot easier to be a hero than a villain.
I disagree. I disagree because you coming from straight some comic book shit, bro. You talking about some henchmen and type shit.
I told you.
So
I
I'm
was
like, bro, like,
I told you I was watching.
I thought I
gave
punched
my
the nigga,
background
bro.
from it.
But this nigga really hit that nigga with the
I
wow.
didn't hit me with nothing, nigga. I told y'all what I was watching and how I came across the goddamn question.
I'm all right. Real life villains,
So-
nigga like Ted Bundy, nigga like Jeffrey Dahmer, bro. That's
I don't
villains,
consider
nigga,
them villains.
What the fuck were they in?
I consider them regular people that other people don't understand.
What? A serial killer?
Bruh, you don't understand
Why
them.
do we need to?
You don't understand them because it's a thing to understand, bruh.
Bruh,
It's
bruh.
a reason why they're a serial killer, bruh.
Well,
There's a thing to that.
I understand Joker. He's a Libra.
Chronicles we do.
Joker's
What?
definitely. Joker's
Yeah,
definitely.
you lost me on Essence. Yeah,
He's-
all that.
He's definitely a fucking Libra. I think that's why I was so.
It's about soul reaping.
Nah.
He's fucking Libra.
You turn into a dragon.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Now she lost me. I'm like,
I'll tell you.
What are y'all talking about? What's going on?
I'll tell you after the show. We're interrupting the show.
That's crazy. Hey, see, what's Spider-Man Zodiac song?
Nah.
All right,
Now.
So
He's a Gemini.
yeah, I came across the question watching a freaking anime show on Netflix.
Yeah, he got that.
That's how I.
Oh yeah, he's watching anime porn. Hey,
Oh.
so
Oh fuck.
Who want to go next?
Who's next
Oh,
up?
you really.
Yeah, no, that was just really on
You gotta
my
watch
other
it out.
topics are on my phone.
So what would make you feel like you were a hero or a villain?
What does it make you feel like I'm a hero or a villain?
Oh, we keep it going. Okay.
I mean, yeah, because he got 30 minutes.
I feel I respect that.
Well, the thing is, I don't believe in heroes.
What?
Bro, heroes don't exist in this world. So as far as the hero and villain,
Done with this nigga,
That's right.
bro. This nigga dumbass retard. I was just with you the whole time, bro.
Bro, you jump off a 10-story building and start flying, bro.
First of all,
You
not
done
talking
go
about
into a wall.
So heroes have to have super ability.
Right. In my opinion, yes.
We gotta be a superhero.
Because
Yeah, you watch too much comic
Because
books,
I don't-
bro.
he don't want to go to do
in my opinion, yes. Yes.
A nigga can prevent a whole bank robbery. He ain't shit though. He's not a hero because he ain't got no powers.
He saved a baby from a burning house.
All right. He
How
prevented
the fuck
He
you not a
prevented
hero?
one bank robbery. Wow. Is this
I
is
can't
this-
stand
is
this
finna
nigga,
go every
bruh.
night on the fucking scanner looking for crime? I guarantee you, if he saved it, if he stopped this bank robbery, this nigga cannot stop this shooting over here. 55, bro.
Oh,
Until I see that nigga, bro, that's a
Whoa.
hero.
I'm right in your face, man.
That's a hero. We see Hitler. We see the true villain.
I mean, but that's it.
Right, like so Hitler can be a villain.
Hitler
because
is-
he has no powers.
but
Hitler
some
is-
people
he
deem
has no
him-
powers.
But
I
some
mean,
people
shit.
deem
Hitler almost took over the world, bro.
Take over the world.
But some
Took
people
over
deem
the
him a
world.
hero.
Real villain shit, bro. That's the
villain.
bro.
But some
Take
people
over
deem
the
him a
world,
hero.
Who else is doing
Eradicate
that?
The Vatican,
all
nigga.
of
The Vatican took over the world. Nobody say shit about the Vatican.
Bro, who has stopped him to take over the world, bro?
The Vatican.
You show me
Chinese,
Captain America.
China. Are you paying attention to the
You show me Captain
The
America.
whole world's in COVID, nigga.
You show me a green
Oh,
arrow.
fake ass that's taking over the world,
You seen
nigga.
the other guys?
You show me a
That's
green
it, that-
arrow.
You seen the other
Him
guys?
on
I
your
have seen the other guy.
Watch that, bro.
In the words of Will Ferrell, bro, how about a whole just group of socially conscious people playing
Planet what?
Planet Park?
Planet what?
That was a
The
Park.
part.
Oh,
You love being at his best.
But do you think in order to be that type of like hero group, everybody has to be conscious? Like would everybody need to be conscious?
You ain't heard about that dude, that Kate Crusader dude in Washington got his nose broke?
no, what enlighten me. See that wanna be hero.
God,
No superpowers. He ain't taking no kryptonite blast.
he had like a real life case and he was gonna do something with it.
Bro, that nigga flew in the window, bro. How did that go down? Bro,
That's
villains
somewhere I would have
This
wanted
guy
to
right
be.
here.
I wanted to be there.
what do you do?
This guy was really
Oh, I
well run.
fucking love it.
Plus, and he
I
black.
fucking love it. Is he a black man?
Right.
Thank you.
He really tried to stop the
He gonna
crime.
get his powers.
He gonna get his powers.
He is. Now that I see who he is, he gonna get his
Let me
powers.
see.
Matter of fact, I think he did.
Then now you feel dumb, motherfucker.
Ain't no hero.
I
I don't feel dumb as
He
shit.
talking being heroes whole time.
Because as you continue scrolling down to his pictures, then you get this.
Oh shit, let me see. I
Don't let him find that, bro.
thought that was him. Right ass.
So there go your heroes right there.
All right, that still
Thought he
doesn't
was
defeat
naked.
the fact that nigga was going around
Let me
trying to
see.
fight crime. Hold on.
That was a middleman.
I'm really just really mad that you really feel that you can't be a hero.
Well, powers, bro.
If you don't fly, bro.
I mean, nigga, what
you're really stupid.
you gonna be a cop and be a hero?
So was
You
You
fucked up, bro.
You what?
You don't have to be any other way of your profession, you loser. How can you be a regular person and be a hero to your
Bro,
brother?
who is out on
Damn,
scanners, bro?
got him.
Who is out on scanners trying to
So
fight
you never
crime?
taught your boy not to kill himself, bro? No, you never taught your boy not to hit his mama.
I don't consider myself a hero for it.
You right, bro.
okay, but what if there are people that's doing that shit? Because you know, like even in the the comics and stuff, you're never actually supposed to know who they are.
Exactly.
So
You don't
what
feel like
there's-
if you sacrifice
The only
your life
thing-
to save somebody, you're not a hero?
And first of all,
You
can't-
are a fucking amazing person.
It's not up to you to determine.
You're not sacrificing your life to save the world.
It's not your choice,
Okay,
though.
so
You saving somebody's
I
world.
like that.
It's not your choice.
What do you mean it's not your choice?
If
You're a
somebody
hero.
considers you a hero to them, there's nothing you can do about that.
That's up to them.
Okay, so in their
Oh,
eyes, you're a
that.
hero.
don't call
Okay,
that.
in my eyes, heroes don't exist.
No.
Right,
Yeah,
I can't.
Have you ever had great power?
Me and my-
Have you ever had great power? Have you ever? I'm asking you a question, AP. Have you ever had great power? Yeah, but I ain't punching no holes in no wall.
What? I punch a hole.
Because it comes with great responsibility. Maybe you don't know what it's like to be a hero.
Hey, that was uppercut.
Hey,
Man.
I wouldn't have never chose the hero life myself. So
Heroes
You ain't
ain't
ready for the
easy.
great responsibility.
Next topic, please.
Let's go.
Come on, next topic.
Hi, don't sleep on me.
It's on you,
I don't
already.
know who you are.
Whoever volunteers who wants to take their turn.
I'll go. You going or what?
y'all better go before she even come up with some more.
No. Whose turn is it?
It's yours.
Yeah, Remy gonna come through with the top.
You really could.
Oh.
You really could.
Mine. My topic. Yeah, the way I worded it for sure.
So, how about them Buffalo Bills, yo?
They did that, huh?
Yeah,
They beat the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
ain't handling their business.
They ain't handling their business.
Look,
to do this.
yeah, man, I wanted the Ravens to win that game.
I mean, the Ravens can beat the Chiefs, but now the Chiefs don't have stuff to do. You laughing? It's gonna be Green Bay and the
So-
Chiefs.
Mine was more so on this whole storming the Capitol thing that the white people did.
Why you say like that?
Because that's what it was.
So
Brother.
my question about that was, Do you feel like that was an orchestrated thing in order to promote a more defined racial divide? If so, do you feel like now more than ever our allies had to either speak up or stay quiet? Have you noticed some of them being abnormally quiet?
I feel like
What about allies? Sorry.
The people that keep identifying themselves as, oh, I have a black friend, black man, black girlfriend, black children, etc.
the people that ain't black but fuck with
Black Lives
people.
Matter. So in those instances, now that you see their people acting up, they have been abnormally quiet.
I personally feel like that shit was
There's no random conversations at the lunch break table. None of that. My job's been so quiet, but during Black Lives Matter, they would walk up to, what do you think about this? And I'm anti, so I'd be like, what you think about it?
And that was the whole thing with the whole allies and shit. They needed all of us on one court so they could get Trump out and they could do what they wanted to do. I feel like that whole break-in thing was either staged or manipulated to help that second impeachment they were trying to go for.
Yes.
That was all they needed and all they wanted to push that shit. Yes.
If you lost the motherfucking election, why do you need a second impeachment?
Thank you! And then on top of that, he only had a week
No,
left.
wait.
Come on.
Not to contest
I mean, no, we get that he can't run again. That's understood. That's understood. Anybody that's followed poli sci, which is obviously not a lot of people, because they kept saying, ooh.
That's what the second
He
impeachment
went
is
through
for.
damn near a whole.
Yeah, so he don't run again.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what
So,
they wanted to use this to push that shit
but the
through.
thing is, you notice, as far as the silence, and none of that stuff happened up until they were affected while they were trying to do this little fake ass electoral college votes and all that other shit. I really think that he was on to something about some of this shit.
I know
He knew what he was talking about.
Why Nancy Pelosi didn't show up to work?
Hillhead Pelosi is full of shit.
Why she didn't show up to work?
Because okay, so my thing is,
They got the laptop.
The Democrats are good for paying people to do that
They
site
can
shit.
assassinate
So,
her.
and they're
It's
on
over with,
certain
brother.
soapboxes,
Laptop.
they do shit. When they're on certain soapboxes, you'll notice that a lot of weird occurrences will happen during that time. So if they're pro-LGBTQ, then all of a sudden a lot of transgender attacks happen. When they're trying to get Trump out, now all of a sudden Trump supporters. We've been knew this nigga lost for the last 2 months, last 2-3 months. We knew he
Niggas don't
lost.
care.
But the thing is, now all of a sudden they're just so enraged they're going to go to the Capitol building to reinforce something that we already knew happened. The whole week of the voting shit, we knew he would, even if he did win, they weren't going to say that. We already knew voter fraud exists. And for them to sit there and say that it doesn't because he was the one saying something about it is trash. As if Al Gore didn't complain about it. I demand a recount. As if Obama, when he was going, they were changing poll locations. Different ballots were becoming missing. Shit like that. Voter suppression been happening. In the 60s, you had to count the number of marbles in a fucking jar. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, once he says something, then all of a sudden it's a Democratic pushback. And then there's a slew of events that have happened that is relative to their soapbox at the time. So Black Lives Matter, they done put it in a box for a little bit. Now they're talking about police reform. We were just was fighting for that, complaining about it, recording police brutality. Now they want to talk about it because some officers let some motherfuckers inside of a government building. Now all of a sudden, let's talk about police.
It's only a real issue when it affects them in their household.
Yeah, because they were on a soapbox. So the thing is, now since they've garnered the black vote, the black and brown vote, now they're going to start talking about some of our issues. They're going to talk about it, but nothing is going to change. So all this praise Biden and shit. What has Biden done the whole time he's been in political office in any seat he's held? What has he done?
Take a bunch of pictures.
No, what he did do was say a lot of hurtful things about black people. He has perpetuated negative connotations about black people, period. It has not changed. Matter of fact, while he was running for Obama, he doubled down on the statement. He didn't take it back. So my thing is, it's just like, we just sit over here praising another white daddy. That's all that's happening. And if you say something, then it's a problem. Then it's, you must be a Trump supporter. No, I'm pro-righteousness. I see what you're talking about. That shit is stupid. I've never been a Trump supporter. I've always fact-checked the shit he said and stuff that don't sound right. I've been sitting there eating my popcorn because this shit, to me, is entertainment. This is like y'all Super Bowl when niggas is waiting for the football game to start. This is me. I like this right here. I'm so excited. Like, I get to see, first I got to see a black president. We can go into if he was helpful or not. Now I get to see someone that topped Reagan on fuck shit. Like, this is fun. This
That's
is
one
fun.
thing what I think is gonna happen. Is hopefully we can play this back and
Is
see if I'm
that
right.
silence? Do you think that silence is a message of some sort?
The silence of what?
This silence that y'all was saying, like this.
With the allies?
Yeah, with this. Yeah.
Definitely, it's their people. It's convenient when they can do a slap on the wrist for the man, the government. It's easy, so they can say, oh, well, the police is it's horrible what they're doing to you guys. It's horrible what Karen is doing to you. But then once they realize that it's people that look like them every day, it's people they knew it was them. Now they're quiet. You know what I'm saying? It was thousands of motherfuckers out there. So most states probably had a few of they folks out there.
Y'all see them go to jail
Honestly, I think they were paid people that's gonna get out. They're gonna get out. Yeah, they're gonna get out. They're
When
gonna
they get out.
I mean, like quick, not
Shit,
just
if they're not already out.
Thank
I'm
you.
saying,
Thank
you're
you.
not gonna get jail for that.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta go to court first.
I like my thing is I understand that. I don't
Like I
think
said,
that
if
they're
they're
gonna.
not already out.
They're not gonna
You
get
think they got
like.
OR?
Bruh, damn near.
I don't.
Not if they send them out there to you.
Bruh, if they go to jail and
You're
get
gonna
the
pay.
general population
Say what I'm saying.
as quote unquote Trump supporters, motherfucker in jail is not conscious like,
They're
oh,
gonna
they
get
pay y'all.
off.
They gonna be like, oh, y'all white motherfucking Trump supporters finna beat y'all ass in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
They not finna go to jail.
bottom line is
Don't work like
they
that.
were
They gonna go
paid-
to a specific
they
jail.
were
They
paid
gonna
for
go
that.
Hey, bro. Jump got Trump supporters in that motherfucker, bro.
They were
Of
paid
course,
for
but they
that.
deep.
And
So
a lot
ain't
of
nobody
them
finna run up on their ass.
A lot of the people that was on TV didn't have their mask on. They were fully
They
identified.
probably in
were
there
the
talking
same-
about it,
I'm
laughing
saying,
about
in
this shit.
No, they
Oh,
really
hey, accent. Look up, I think it's Face It on Instagram. He go post about it, hella in depth. But he like, when have it ever been like something that serious and you see more cameramen than you see police?
And then on top of
In
that,
front of the police barrier though.
Yeah.
and then on top of that, it was just people just going, oh yeah, we went inside the Capitol building. They wouldn't let me go inside the restroom. And I was just like, what?
Right.
It
Yeah,
was
right.
Everyone is an exaggeration.
Oh no, but
I'm
that's
just saying, like,
yourself.
no, there's no mask.
Oh,
But the thing is, when it was Black Lives Matter, like people keep trying to compare the two.
Did you see
It
the
was two different paid protester situations, but it was the funding was different. That was it. So one was paid by some George Soros, a nigga that was, he got all the money, but he's not a part of the government, and he wasn't a part of their agenda. But then we got the government who actually paid the motherfuckers. A lot of those people were let in. So what does that tell you? Somebody was paid on the inside.
No, it was.
Some people knew not to show up that day. So come on, man. Like, that's the only difference. It's two
interviewers?
different types of
No.
funding, but both were funded.
Did y'all see the white girl with the onion?
Them bitches
No.
was real life full
She had an
face.
onion on her face, bro. Talking to the reporter. Just like,
I'm like, hi, I'm Sarah from
Look.
Canterbury.
see, bro, it's got the thing, bro. It's a rag. She like this. She like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I can't believe. I'm like, they need to do.
They knotted her up or something?
No, an onion.
I can
needs to
make
help
you
her
cry.
Oh.
I'm saying
Acting.
they ain't got no soul like that. They can't even cry on.
They're getting paid.
I'm saying they ain't got no soul. They can't cry on the.
Like, she was on that motherfucker with an onion, bro?
Bro, she an onion, fam. Y'all, man, so-
She's a pussy if her eyes water from onions. Bitch, don't you cook?
No.
Stupid.
I should still get fucked
Mine
up.
don't.
Wow.
So she's a pussy. She don't put it on her eyes. Hella stupid.
Yeah, I gotta think about
Anyway,
certain movies.
I do too.
What? See?
I cried from Sons of Anarchy.
Lion King for us.
That little feeling in my throat started watering up when he killed his baby mama. I was like, oh.
It is kind of interesting what they gonna do. Like what's gonna be the consequences? Because you, like I said, like they've been saying, and it is kind of true. If it was niggas, you already know this shit would have been swiftly dealt with. So it's like, what can you foresee coming after this?
I have mixed feelings with that statement due to the fact that niggas sat there and told them they were on their way, and you were fucking shit up on your way there. Why would they not be prepared for you? It'd be one thing if you showed up and you feel me, you did what they did, okay, and then they hold you, did all that shit. Oh, that's fucked up. But niggas is like, I'm on my way to your house, bitch. I'm gonna beat your ass. You think that somebody's not gonna be prepared to whoop your ass first? Like, I'm confused. Stop telling everybody all your shit. I don't understand that. Anytime somebody tell you that shit is a threat, you're supposed to respond accordingly. I don't understand why would you tell somebody you on your way to fuck shit up, you're shooting people, you're burning cities
I'm
and
gonna be
shit down,
outside.
and then now, thank you, I'm gonna be waiting for you. But these motherfuckers didn't sit there and make a hella post and hashtags, black your post out all Tuesday. We're gonna
What time?
during that whole Tuesday shit was happening, and people were disconnected, but still on social media. That's dumb as fuck. So dumb. Talking about you're gonna lose the Black Lives Matter information. What do they tell us anyway? Nothing. It'd be a bunch of events that get derailed by undercover police and niggas that need money to put gas in their Cadillacs. I ain't got that. Just sickening. I didn't get that. But the only difference was paid by an outside entity, paid by the government. That was it.
And you see the government's
So my thing is also about the whole allies thing. Like, where do you see allies? Like, should they push for harder sentencing? Should they stay quiet because it's not their fight? It's just people that look like them doing some dumb shit. Like, what do you feel like?
Harder sentencing on what?
Because the fact that they're not going to really receive like a harsh punishment. So my thing is, do you feel like they should push for something big, like
What's
domestic terrorism, like bigger
Whoa!
than I mean, domestic terror. That's what it was. It was domestic terrorism. So I mean,
in that case, all the Black
but
Lives
they
Matter.
called us terrorists, black people that was fighting, and then anybody else reported was terrorists. They called us terrorists and criminals, and most of us weren't even in the crowd. But most of them was in the crowd this time.
It was them that was in the crowd even during them.
So that's what I'm saying. But they called us black people in Black Lives Matter movement domestic terrorists. So my thing is, should they call them terrorists? But they're conveniently just saying Trump supporters are domestic terrorists. So they're still trying to separate the masses of white people. They're basically just them over there. But when it came to Black Lives Matter, it was just black folks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even most of us out there burning shit up.
Well, I think it's a setup. So the setup is that they want to stop radicalism and anything that wants to be with spoken words. So if I can identify black people, they already know that. So now I need white people. Next is probably gonna be Asians or somebody. And that's gonna make it like, okay, now we're gonna have a free law that hey, any of this type of shit is not good. You're gonna be felonized, you're gonna be a felony, you're gonna be labeled as a domestic terrorist. Like that's one of the setups I see with if that was used for. But another thing that they say the things that were used for were there are agents in there also who had to get intel and get because so basically like this. So at the inauguration that's supposed to happen with Joe Biden, they're waiting so that when he says the oath, they can arrest him. Because they can't arrest him unless it's under oath federally and for his war crimes. So that's going to create a civil war. So I went to the gun store. I went to go purchase. And before I got there, a couple fucking cashed out $7,000 in ammo. So if y'all not gonna prepare, they are. So whatever y'all think is going on, I'm telling you that's not what it is, bro. They know what's about to happen. As soon as that nigga gets inaugurated, regardless, there is going to be a civil upsuit, bro. And then it's going to be the UN who comes in, and guess who's going to be a part of the UN? China and Russia. And they're using China and Russia because they see when they did the Katrina attack that the army, that the U.S. Troops would not turn on these people. So they already counting on that the U.S. troops are not going to help because, a lot of us have, U.S. troops, but they're not even telling us what's going on. I ask all the time, but so this war is happening.
They ain't telling you nothing, huh?
I mean, you can't work all this.
I mean, I thought you had high clearance.
Yeah.
I do got clearance, spiritual clearance.
My nigga Louis got spiritual clearance.
I heard the fuck out of that.
Right?
Hey, Dorsey. Hey, James. I mean, I already talked about it.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, the allies thing, I feel like we kind of didn't touch it at all. For the reason.
Want to wind it up?
You said, what do you want to see, or what do you think they're gonna do?
Yeah, like what do you feel like they should do? Because it was a disproportionate response from how they did something that was representative of Black people versus some Trump supporters. Trump supporters, they was just, it's just mad people over there. We'll deal with them later. We'll round up the ones that's on TV. Okay. But when it was Black Lives Matter, they was zooming in on the mask, lining up eyebrows and shit. So you had all this technology.
Trying to get facial recognition.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You had all this technology, and there was people that was like, these crafty hashtags, and then you also notice like some of the people are now taking some of the Black Lives Matter tactics. So to say her name, they're doing this, making mural, like they minimized what our actual issue was, and it was all for a reason. So do you feel like now?
I see what you were saying.
Should our allies push for harder sentences? Should they push for accountability? Should they put what should they do? Because we had a lot of regurgitated Black Lives Matter ally shit. That's what we had. It was a lot of, that's fucked up what they doing to you. Oh, Black Lives Matter hashtag. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna stand with you. And it was like, that was cool, but what are you gonna do now that it's your people? Like,
What are they supposed to do? Say Black Lives Matter again?
no, what they should do is arrest the motherfuckers that was tearing shit up
I see
in
what you were
Washington.
saying.
Hashtag.
At this point, all right, so like for instance, when niggas was out here, you feel me, stealing the cars off the lot and shit and everything, they was, you feel me, trying to catch niggas. When niggas was breaking into shit, they was trying to catch everybody they could. You feel me? When months after, they was still catching niggas. So it's like, all right,
They're doing a good enough job of catching people right now.
with this situation, the fact that they broke into
They didn't give a fuck from Jump Street.
so if they was gonna put that much effort into what they did for me as far as when niggas was doing the shit earlier in the year, at this point in time when they broke into the United States, fucking headquarters, the White House,
Not the White House.
the Capitol, or wherever, you would think some
It's
shit like that.
it's white people dwelling anything.
You would think some shit like that would be fortified. You're not breaking in, you're just storming.
Because we all know it feels us, nigga, at least 50 episodes.
And the thing
Damn, no sooner you step over that
so
thing.
the fact that they broke in, that's like damn near terrorism.
it
is.
is terrorism.
So
So
it's like,
what I'm
at
trying
that
to see,
point,
where
action.
I'm trying to
Did you
know.
see
Because
the
all we're having now,
see the footage?
but that's the thing. I'm not expecting. I don't know why they're upset. I don't know why they're
I'm like,
confused.
why does it even matter?
I mean, at the end of the day, the white people did what they did on their soil.
That's how they felt. If y'all felt that way, y'all should have did that. They went to the Capitol. They didn't go to their own
They
city.
stayed. They went exactly to who
They
they were
said,
mad
who
at.
I'm mad at, I'm gonna take off who I'm mad at. Y'all niggas took off on anybody y'all can see.
On Walgreens, on Foot Locker,
On every Asian
flat
nigga, like,
screens.
come on, bro.
and then you were asking for
That's
allies.
terrorist,
but
nigga.
You sitting over here talking race and all this
That's
all over the
terrorist.
place.
I mean, I'm
And then
not.
this is how they boost security.
If
Yeah,
it-
I seen that. I was like, what?
I'll put it to you like this: if it was some Muslims that was mad, you feel me, they would have broke in.
So
And
what?
they would have.
That's how they boost security.
They would have been terrorists.
You're right. So like,
This is
if
how it
it was anybody other than
Let's
white
take that
people,
one.
it would have
That's
been
how
a
security
terrorist act, and it would have been carried out as such. So I see what you were saying.
So, like, when are our allies going to sit there and be like, and by the way, charge them the same way,
I don't know if it's
Why they
because
sleep like
they
that?
do it, they
get
taking the other shit, and then they keep bringing up, oh, if it was black people, So you
Not
understand
smart
this,
thing.
but you're mighty quiet. You're not fighting as hard
That's
when
what they
you
first
were when
came
it
in.
was full hashtag, it was culture shit, and it was a full challenge you could do with a hashtag. Like,
So
no,
you want to see them out there with like white guy marching more like
Do something. do something.
I just treat
Because,
that shit like they treat our
yeah, during this, talking about, oh, you know what, white people, all white lives matter. With this.
Since our shit is so pop culture,
I don't know what the fuck they
that's
doing,
how
bro.
That's how
everybody.
we try to.
That's how everybody tapped into like black people in there, and you feel me? Their struggles and everything is through our culture, through the pop culture, through our music and everything, and through all that. So like, I guess in a sense, do the same thing for your shit.
And on top of that, you ain't noticed that other demographics that do support Trump, they didn't sit there and say, well, why weren't we represented in this? Why weren't they was acting a fool too? But with Black Lives Matter, even though motherfuckers was acting a fool, you didn't notice. Well, the trans, we got to speak up for the trans. You got to speak up for all Black lives. You got to speak up for this. You got to speak up for that. oh, well, LGBTQ, speak up because there's black people that's LGBTQ. All of that stuff was coming in under our shit, regardless of how stupid we were acting.
And every freaking now
This women not
every
saying
token-
why the Latins for Trump wasn't included, why our part wasn't heard, why why y'all not listening to what we gotta say? Y'all just spoke up for us. Like nobody's actually doing it.
They got every token black person in all the movies and shit. A gay person. What's up with that?
And not only are they black, they're gay too.
Right.
I
What
mean,
are we talking?
Well, that was just a little pull off.
More disappointment is what we're talking about.
You know, it's a quote that comes to mind. It's like a Black Panther quote, and it's one that says hiding the contradiction. So should they do that for sure? I think also though at the same time I think more black people should point that out about white people. Like, hey, this is how y'all acting. Like everything you just said, I think should be more on a broader platform to show them and to actually really see if they really about what they're saying, because that's a very valid point. So yeah.
I feel like it's not our job to hold their hands and know exactly what to do. That's just why they were talking on one, they were quiet on the other, and both of them are closely related.
So that's what. So the question is,
Trump was
do
an
you think?
issue during Black Lives Matter, so why aren't we hearing from them?
If the question is, do you think they are going to? No, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going
They're not.
They're
And
not
the
going
thing
to do it
is
unless
that
they're forced.
no, and the
That's
thing is,
what-
why do we keep trying to force them? At any present time, they keep showing us that at the end of the day, when it comes down to the majority of them versus their one little friend, their one little whatever, they will always choose the winning team. Period. And this was a small scale example of that. They're gonna choose the winning team. So what do you do in that instance? When you realize, hey, these motherfuckers I fuck with is quiet as fuck. But when it was Black Lives Matter last year, they was asking, how do you feel? Oh, I'm here for you.
They are people of survivability.
And I understand that. So I just need my people to understand that a little bit better.
They are
Because
people-
we fight too much to try to humanize what they're doing. At the end of the day, it's a little bit less on the human side and more so on like
they do. They
something
do.
else. I'm trying to be politically correct here. I don't know.
I mean, I feel poli science where you're coming from.
I'm just like, what do we do when they keep coming up light? And it's inconsistent.
They gonna always-
And this pick and choosing. We are too easily acceptable. We just want to just know that they're here for us. When do we understand that at the end of the day, they're going to always be this? Like, it's going to always come back here.
Well, first we have to understand who is here for us. Most times, even amongst ourselves and amongst our family, we don't know who is really here for us, who really got our back. It's many situations where
It's because we need to start having our back, bro.
Yeah,
Why do we need other people to help feel sorry for us, bro?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there may be times where, like, you feel me, somebody may have your back and you may not know it. You feel me? And being that you don't know it or whatnot, being that you're being that you're unaware of, like, knowing who's really there for you.
You don't see that for special
Or you tend to be too skeptical. So I feel like even amongst our own community and amongst our own family, we tend to not even know who has our back, and we tend to fuck over the ones who has our back. So we don't even cherish that. So
That shit goes deep though. About us accepting our real.
Oh, that was good.
you know, one of
You
my
wanna make that a topic already?
when I was watching Shameless, and one of my favorite scenes of it is when Liam, the black kid, he discovers that he has a black family. So he goes in.
So you watch Shameless now?
I've been watching Shameless.
I love Shameless. It is a wonderful highlight of trailer trash. It's wonderful. I go, oh, your father was on crack.
So one of my favorite scenes is Liam, he finds his black family. You know, Frank introduces him to his black family, and the older guy, nephew or whatnot, he's basically his cousin or whatnot. So his cousin tries to take him in for me and teach him and show him like what that side of the family is like. So it came to a point where
Show lowers my vibration.
Sometimes I like to be lower vibrated.
the great grandmother,
Stop.
Like shit like that.
nigga,
I'm up on the way.
the
Oh,
great
shit.
grandmother ended up passing away. And then Brad invited Liam to the funeral. Liam came to the funeral and ended up basically taking everybody money. He ended up saying he's gonna buy flowers for the funeral.
The black people.
Yeah. And have
They
people
believe
donate
they
money.
believe the white person.
No, it was the black
Liam is a
boy.
black kid.
He's learned their ways.
Liam is a black kid and a
Well,
white
try to
man.
let me finish the goddamn story, nigga.
I have an observation on this scene that you're talking about.
Oh, you watch series?
Can I finish it?
Go ahead, B. Go ahead, finish it.
Is it alright if I finish it? Louis?
Go ahead, bro. I was waiting for you to finish,
So, he gets invited to the funeral. He tells him he gonna buy flowers, have him donate money. He takes the money and ends up walking off. The cousin catches up to him and be like, "Hey, what you doing, bro? Like, why you treating us like this? We ain't did nothing but treat you right or whatnot." And he basically said, "Hey, at least I know who I am." That's a whole nother story. But what I wanted to point out was the fact that Liam himself couldn't realize when people were being good to him because he was raised up in a community and a family that only scammed and fucked people over.
Right.
They even fucked each other over. So when it came to a point where somebody actually had his back and was being kind to him, he didn't recognize that. He wasn't able to take it, you know? So he had to go back to what he knew, which was scamming, scheming, and getting over. Because that's what he was
And
coming
that's what he did with his new black family.
So to tie that back in to us as black people in our own communities, sometimes we don't know when people are being good to us or who is being good to us or who is supposed to fuck with us. So being that we have that disconnect, that then goes into like now we think these white folks superficially are our allies and gonna fight for us and do this. And it's like,
But that's only because you disidentify with your blackness, brother. That's because you want to identify more with that group.
You disconnected from your
You said
uniqueness to conform
disidentify?
to the Caucasian.
Did you say
my brother?
disidentify?
No, I said disidentify.
Disidentified. That's a word?
Disidentified.
You wanna find out?
Disidentified, that's a word?
You want to find out? Can you pass me my phone? We're about to fact check.
What about unidentified?
No.
No?
Disidentified.
This? Okay.
I
You right, I like
it.
I like it. You older, you my OG.
So
ED.
it's actually a word.
ED.
Disidentification. For example, if a woman repeatedly fails to be hired for a leadership position because a male colleague was selected and attributes this to, attributes is
what?
whatever. This to
What?
Wait, I'm not
This
saying-
is sexist
No.
definition?
So it's basically the idea that you feel like somebody is doing something because of this. Oh, because I'm black, because I'm a female, because I'm from the Bay Area, because I never went to college. That's what that is. Disidentification. Now I don't remember if he used it in the correct context,
Yeah.
but
We're speaking of.
we fact checked him.
doing that, bro. Yeah, what are you talking about? Not at all.
Yeah, we were AP. What was I saying? I said that
You use the term disidentify.
Yeah.
With their black culture.
and that's why they
That's
feel
why
comfortable to choose and have allies.
That's why
I
they
think
don't.
you need
No,
the word
I-
disassociate.
I was saying that they don't, being that they have that disconnection between knowledge of who they can fuck with, of who is their partners, of who truly got their back or don't truly got their back.
Right. That's what. But do you see why though?
It doesn't.
Because they don't want to be black,
It
brother.
doesn't have nothing to do with being.
They don't want to be black.
It has
So
nothing to do with being.
disassociate, that's the word he wanted to use.
It has nothing to do
Oh,
with being
what?
black.
No.
It has nothing
It's not
to do with being
disidentified.
black, white, yellow, red, or nothing. It's
Disidentified.
talking about basically if I give Dom $20 because
With the
he's
blackness.
listen, if Dom come to me and tell me
Don't
he
check
hungry,
that.
speaking
With the
hypothetically,
blackness.
Louis,
Yeah.
Louis don't like you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm saying it straight up. Nah, Louis don't like you, bro?
Fine.
Who don't like
Hey,
you, bro?
finally, bro. Finally. I ain't ever heard you up there, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Never.
Louis always
Never.
interrupt you, bro.
Never.
He don't,
Louis
you don't
don't like you,
loud.
bro. Y'all the same sign. I don't know what y'all got against each other.
It's
Shut the fuck up, dog. Go ahead.
This is too much.
As I was saying, if Dom came to me and said he was hungry, and I gave him $20 to go get something to eat, bro, and then he fuck around and steal from me, he doesn't know, like, you feel me, that I fuck with him. He doesn't know, like, you feel me, bro.
Let him finish.
He doesn't bring back a change.
Why you
Who
trying to
interrupt
be
you
Y'all,
all the
y'all,
time,
just,
man?
y'all just rabbit hole this.
I'm trying to
Rabbit
make
hole
sense
this.
of it. If he says he's, why would he come steal from you?
But who been interrupt him the whole time?
Just say he don't bring it back to change.
And now I don't want to talk no
This
more.
ain't even my topic no more.
And now I don't want to talk no more. I can wonder who thought that is.
Somebody done disidentified my topic.
Disidentified the whole segment.
All right, AP, what was you going to say?
So, tying back to what I was saying, bro, we as black people, and I'm saying this once more again for the third time, we don't know between ourselves, our family, and our own community because we've been so used to getting fucked over and shit. We have this mindset that we got to scheme and scam. The fact that we don't know when people are actually being good to us. So we misidentify with that, maybe, if that's what you want to say. But we don't know when people is being good to us. So therefore, when the white people come in and say, "Oh, we got your back, we're gonna do this," we either don't know if it's true or we do know. You feel me? But we know from our own people, we don't. You feel me? Get the same help and shit. So it's like, all right, well,
I feel
I don't
on that
know.
part, but
I
I
think-
just don't. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I think they don't trust or like each other either. They just have a better.
I always agree.
I don't see why they would trust or like each other. I mean, based on how they got here, and based on what they do. I just figure, you know, they tend to be able to look
But why would you steal from like
to
$20?
separate themselves from the situation to get to a bigger goal. For some reason, we can't do that. Like, even when we live with family, it's always this thing where, like, y'all bumping heads over something small.
But y'all be bumping heads mostly over like, I got this and just
Yeah, it's
ego
dumb.
shit.
So, like, with them, they're like, you know what? I don't like Sarah. She keeps coming to my room stealing shit, but guess what? We both saving money to get the fuck out of here. Like, their identity is completely, like, the way they identify with each other is, yeah, you probably do some fucked up shit. I probably done did some fucked up shit, but
They do
we're
that
trying
as
to, yeah,
in
we're,
college. No, you're right.
yeah, like, they might not ever like the person that they're business partners with.
They
But
would be
guess
the
what?
worst enemies and best of friends.
But the thing is, we be the best, the worst of enemies and best of friends too. And for
At the
some
same
reason,
time, toxic.
we look at it completely different. Like, we trust,
Competition.
like, we're looking for each other to be perfect, but then we make excuses for everybody else. So if they sit there and be like, oh, well, you know,
No, make excuse for ourselves. We expect them to be perfect at all to us.
no, we already automatically apply some perfection on them. Like, it's this weird thing where, like, you know, even if they did something wrong, it's not as bad as when so and so did me, and it's weird. It's like, no, they're fucked up too. Like,
I think everybody's fucked up.
yeah, everybody's fucked up. It's just kind of like, for some reason, we just
In
can't.
your universe, everybody's
We just can't deal with each other and remove all that.
You
extra
think you're
shit.
Flash. You're fucked up.
Who's playing? What we got? 15.
Why the fuck you keep calling me twerk? Do I look like I feel your parents? Do I look like I feel your parents?
Why do you keep saying that?
Let's not end it on this note. We got 13 minutes left.
Bro, nigga, you got a whole segment. Nigga, I gotta do my 30. Hey,
Fuck.
everything on there? Hey, give me some, yeah. Hey, y'all. So, can you read my question, maybe? Please.
Louis question number 563. Thank you.
Technically, you already had it segment.
Where were you when the aliens invaded?
What the fuck? It's not my question, G.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what my question was, G?
Fuck.
Where were you when the aliens invaded?
You had hella questions, though. I don't know which one you want to ask.
I have to do the main one.
I don't know which one it is, bro.
I mean, which one you think?
All right, let me see.
You didn't have a segment.
Fuck.
You just over there.
No, he did. He asked us
You
about.
don't need a segment.
Fucking
I
third.
think then he asked us like Alien
Let's
versus
see
Predator, which
here.
one and why.
Let's
All right,
see here.
Louis
Something like
asks.
that.
No, C said, would you rather use a fork or a spoon?
It
I
was
said
paper
here we
or
go.
plastic.
Louis, question number 666.
Right.
He's right.
66?
Fuck.
What?
If time is an illusion, money is an illusion, and ego is an illusion, who are you?
Ooh. If money is illusion, time is illusion, ego is illusion. Who are you? A fucking illusion. That's my answer.
Okay, go ahead. C, I want to hear
A demon, and Louis is here to slay you. Better beware, because he's on the prowl. He's lurking behind any Saturn truck. Let you know.
Fuck.
He's coming to get you. He'll pull out his shield and he'll dance all over you. And when you are summoned, he'll make sure you are dissummoned. He's Louis,
Gonna
Demon
play no-
Slayer.
This summoned.
Hey, did you hear the last
I'm
part?
gonna look that up.
Ego is an illusion. How many did you guys know that ego was an illusion?
I believe ego. I believe time is an illusion for sure.
Did you know ego was an illusion?
Yes. Money.
You know money's an illusion.
I mean, but we do have a physical.
It's not real.
We do have a physical thing that we place value on.
Currency is real, but money.
Yeah. But money is another word for currency.
Currency is energy.
Oh,
And they monetize your energy into money. So anyway, let's get into this, guys. What about you? How do you feel about that? Steve?
I ain't got nothing.
You ain't got
He ain't got nothing.
What you got, Sam?
On the question?
Yeah. If time. Did you know time was an illusion? No, it's a question, dog. Did you know?
So, I mean, to answer your question, like I said in the group chat, what are you? I said you're a soul, bro. That's what you are. You are a soul. Having a human experience, bro.
Whoa! And what is a soul, my guy? Because in what you're
A
saying.
soul is like eternal life.
Hold on. Can I finish? Is soul intelligence or is it energy?
Oh,
How can you be? How can you both be intelligence and energy at the same time, dog? Transfer some intelligence right now. I transfer some energy.
transfer intelligence, man sharpen man like steel sharpen shield. Steel. You heard that before, right?
Like I said,
That's
I transfer energy.
Don't
just now.
touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
What intelligence did you that transfer to you, brother? Do you hear what I'm saying? I can cook up energy right now. What intelligence am I transferring to you, brother? So I ask the question again. Is the soul intelligence or is it energy?
It's potential.
You can't. I'm asking. Hey, see, it's potential.
yeah.
What? AB, go. I'm sorry. Go.
Wait, no, I should. I didn't know. I thought you were taking it.
Now, see, you want to know that we done found
Well, I want to take this time.
Damn.
I want to take this time to talk to you, revamp viewers, because I'm
This dumb
C,
stuff.
and I'm the retarded one of the show. I want to say,
This nigga.
take accountability
Oh, fuck.
when you are wrong, because who wants to be right all the time? You know,
Fuck.
if
Me.
you are right all the time,
You really want to be right
then-
all the time?
I want you to just turn right all the time.
I'm right.
Now,
all
since
the
you
time.
right all the time, turn right all the time. Let's see how far you go.
Ooh, well,
I'm gonna keep going because rights are
Let's
Hold on,
see
that's
how
how
far
to
you
do
go.
if you think about that. Bro.
rights are limitless.
You keep chasing your tail.
There's no cap to turning right.
You keep chasing your tail.
Don't turn right now.
A fool,
But if I really
A
wanted to
fool-
use my day to turn
a
right,
fool
I
would
would.
think it's not shit to be
They
done.
don't say, oh, 5 o'clock,
It's not
stop.
shit to be done.
So turning right is limitless. So therefore, I'm always right.
If I don't tell you nothing else, I want you to know that. Me personally.
right.
I'm not always right. I'm not. I ain't trying to be right. I'm all about moving forward, pushing the issue,
I'm always
Hey,
right.
see,
and remaining genuine.
you think that was genuine for you to come sit in front of these two guys?
Whenever they talking, you notice I give them their chance. Okay?
No, you
all
do
the
not.
time. That's why I have to come talk to y'all genuinely, because I always do. Just know, I'm not always right. I'm the first person on the revamp to admit it. I'm not. I'm seeing
So why
It
you
sounds
want to
right.
answer the question and the question and answer the question?
because
It's your starch khaki.
it's revamping you. I got one right now. You ready?
Modern day prophets versus regular fools.
You feel me?
I got one.
Wait.
Feel
That
me?
go crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what
feel
Wait.
about
I
it.
thought we was doing delusion thing.
Thank you.
Oh.
Because actually, let me get the girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was, okay.
It was
Time is definitely an illusion to me. It is literally a concept based on whoever's idea of time is more important at the moment. So most of us get up every day and work on someone else's time. They said you need to be here at 8:30, and we're gonna rush, we're gonna shuffle, we're gonna request time off, and they're gonna say yes or no because we're on someone else's time every day. Someone says meet me here, you're on their time. Therefore, I do not set alarm clocks. I get where I'm going when I get there. The only times I will set an alarm clock is when I am willingly surrendering to someone else's time. If someone says, you know what, I have to get to the airport, it's important. I'm now on their time since I said yes, I can take them. So I will set an alarm clock because I am on your time. I am giving you permission to take some of my time in order for you to get where you need to go. So yes, that's an illusion.
We got shout out to C for that, though, bro. He's just thinking.
I don't think
Well,
currency is necessarily an illusion because, like my host just said, there's other forms of currency other than money. So my thing is, we can physically feel and see currency. So I don't think it's an illusion. If I'm exchanging my energy with you, that is currency. I can feel your energy. You can feel mine, unless you're a cyborg.
But that's not money.
Pence is a cyborg. And then, but currency is, there's a different form. Like you can always define money to however you want to do it, just like cryptocurrency. Like there's no physical money, but there's a value to wherever that shit is. So it's kind of like people are paying for something that exists but doesn't, because we don't physically have it. But then currency also is, in order for me to get you to volunteer for me at an event, I might give you a free something. That is currency. So it isn't necessarily paper money, but it's always an exchange of something that you place value in. And then ego, I feel like it is an illusion because you can always be so full of whatever the fuck makes you feel high on yourself, and then something will burst that bubble and you realize, wait, I'm not as tight as I actually think I am. I'm not as balling or as beautiful or as whatever, because I've literally seen something that made me feel like my best ain't the best. There you go. Just all that shit. So, who am I? If all that was removed? Oh, if it's all, well, since I don't think currency is an illusion, I guess who I am is someone who feels. Someone who feels, so therefore.
You keep saying currency, I said money.
Okay. But money to me doesn't necessarily have to be.
I know,
Like-
but I said money because I was using money.
Yeah, but my time is money. But I'm not necessarily paying you
I'm
out
talking
to
about
my
actual
paying.
money.
You didn't say that though.
I said money.
But money is any type, like it can be different forms of currency. Because you
I
don't
don't
always,
use currency.
you
I
can
use
always
money.
use something else as a value.
I know, but the reason why I use money is because people identify with dollars as money, and people don't know that there is no true value to money.
But it's always a value if people are fighting, they're using it in order to live, you've placed a value on it. And if that other person didn't accept that value, chances are you wouldn't get the goods that you're trying to exchange it for. So there's always a value.
There's no true.
And if it's not a value in that thing, they switch to another form of currency. So to me, money is not an illusion.
There's no true value.
It's no consistent thing. It's not a permanent value, but it's always subject to change. So $1 could be 87 cents today and $110 tomorrow because they no longer circulate that dollar.
Like this. Money is an illusion. Currency is gold. Gold is real.
That's why I use money.
But the
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
value-
saying. I'm proving your point. That's
but
what I'm saying.
the reason why I don't agree is because there's still a value to that paper, that coin. There's still a value to it. So even if it reduces or increases, there's still a value in it. And if they change it from that paper, they'll change it to something else. But that money is always a thing that they use so far in our system, barter system. But they still will move to something else. So at one point we were
So,
using cowrie shells,
I'm
then
trying
it
to
went
show
to
you-
coins
I'm
and
trying
things
to show
like
you
that.
the illusion is
That's all money.
That same product or natural, whatever it is that you're purchasing or inflation, that itself, right, would be considered currency,
Yes.
not what we're using to.
If I walked up to you and said I got $1 and I never present said dollar, you're not going to give me whatever that product is that's worth $1. So therefore, it's not an illusion. You feel me? It might leave in existence. They might not circulate it anymore. But at one point, that was used to represent the value of whatever that product was in exchange. To me, the wording for illusion is why I don't agree with it. So if I come up to you and say, I give you $20.
Is it because it's visible and tangible?
Yes.
Check it out.
It's not an illusion if I can see it.
So because the tangible essence of it.
Can I-
Yes, I can't just walk up to you and say $1 worth of energy.
Even with that though, right?
Walk off. You gonna give it to me?
This is a piece of paper, no?
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Mhm.
this is a piece of paper with some print on it.
Mhm.
That has a predetermined value.
Right.
That really doesn't exist until you accept it. Until you surrender your value or your power to this. This is merely a piece of paper.
But it's something that can be seen.
It's something that can be seen and it holds a value to it.
That's,
It
that's
only
what
holds
she-
a value if the person that I'm trying to exchange this with accepts it.
Accept.
But the thing is, we all have accepted it, so therefore it is not an illusion.
If I went to an alien land right now, an alien land with this, and I said this is $1, I want some fucking gum, and they've never seen this before, and they have a whole different type of currency.
You go to countries right
This
now.
is an illusion. This is a piece of paper to
But
them.
guess what? That dollar can still be transferred in most places
Well,
somewhere.
it'll be what it'll be. They'll have
If y'all think it's an illusion, please give me your money. Please. Start telling people, oh, I can pay my phone bill right now with the $50 in my head. I'll take your $1.
So what I'm saying is
No.
this, the only reason this has value is because the majority of the world believes
The
it.
Right, so
concept,
therefore
the
it's not
concept
an
of it is an
illusion.
illusion, but the physicalness of it is reality. The fact that you can see
Exactly.
it,
There we
the
go,
fact that
AP.
you can use it makes it reality.
You have a value
But-
in an actual symbolic physical thing. Therefore, it is not an illusion.
See,
It's the wording that's being used to me.
So
That's
why
what I-
isn't this piece of paper as valuable as the paper in my wallet?
the
it
price of
can
that
be
paper though?
if you choose to want it.
The price of the paper, and you can probably take that paper and make $1, a counterfeit dollar. You probably could, depending on the manipulation.
And if somebody-
But if I did make a counterfeit dollar, it's valid.
But
Someone
look,
will
and
accept it
that's
because of the
the value
value
that
that
somebody
stands
will
behind the
use
paper.
it.
Thank you. So it's not an illusion because
And then if you need something other than $50 to
not
pay your phone bill, if you needed something else, then whatever
Do
that
you
would be
need
would be
$50
to get this system
as of right now, yes.
So the concept of it is an illusion.
It's
But
free
the physical
energy. I just don't know.
Hey,
how to
Pete,
use it.
How do
if
you
you owe the
solve
nigga
it?
$500 right now, he had a gun in your head. You owe the nigga $500. I owed you $500, right? And I came to you with $500 counterfeit bills. You finna take it?
Currency.
You can't make
Oh, no,
$100
Yeah.
Yes, they got- yeah. We're gonna give it this
That
one.
nigga gonna blow your fucking skull off, nigga.
Bro, what? I got a better
You taking
chance.
counterfeit money if like taking $500 bills
It ain't gonna
counterfeit money?
mean something. It ain't gonna mean shit.
I got a better
It's
chance.
counterfeit.
Somebody
Hey,
tell me they got
If
counterfeit
this
$5
nigga is sitting right here with
get
guns
somebody
in
some
and
weed,
you don't know these bills is
Oh,
counterfeit,
was
I got a better chance
I
of
mean,
getting out.
I mean, it's like oh, for real shit.
Well, yeah, when was the last time you spent a $500 bill?
I'm not
Look,
I
talking.
said $500 in counterfeit
Thank
bills.
you.
Look,
Who's not taking it?
if the
you
nigga,
know there's a
if the
place
nigga,
that accepts
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
if the nigga got a gun
But I
to
mean,
my
on
head,
some real shit, like for real.
on some real shit, if the
You
nigga
want to
got
get off $500 for 2 real ones, 200 real ones? Like,
Thank you.
a gun, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If the nigga got a gun
I ain't
to
gonna
my
take it to
head,
nothing though, but I'll do some shit like that with
and
it.
you need $500 right
It's not
there,
an illusion.
I have a better chance of getting off with them fake bills with my life than I do with nothing.
Thank you. I
Have you
get,
ever been caught trying to spend counterfeit money?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know,
How
why are we
about
talking
this?
about this?
I ain't never seen no
Oh.
counterfeit money
How
that
about
I
this?
just looked at and was
How
like,
about
oh, this shit,
Right,
this
you
shit,
can
this shit
tell.
real, nigga. Like I wouldn't,
No,
like nothing I've ever touched. Like
I'm about to show you how it's
you can look
illusion.
at that shit and be like, oh, this
Okay.
shit hella thin, or
Okay,
it don't
I'm
feel
gonna
right,
help you out right
the
now.
texture ain't right.
But
Right
people have
hella
gotten
bumpy.
off with it though.
Yeah. I try to help her out right here.
Oh,
And people are buying counterfeit bills. So
Hey,
if
Pete.
somebody's buying
somebody is
Hey,
taking.
P, I'm about to show you. Hey,
A
P,
nigga
I'm about to show you.
who's owed $500 is not gonna take no counterfeit money.
It may because it's not
There's
worth.
people
It doesn't
paying
have
for
worth to him. If he's holding a gun to your head and saying, "I want a Egyptian vase, a specific Egyptian vase," fuck how much money you could come up with. Bring that nigga that Egyptian vase, or it's your head.
Ooh,
Right.
there's
That's a whole
people.
different scenario.
Yeah,
Right?
so-
It's currency.
AP, so look, this house gonna help you
It's
out.
whatever has
So
value.
I'm at the bank. I robbed the bank. $1 million. I got the $1 million in my bag. I take it out. The thing go poof. Is it the same value?
Hell yeah, because I'm gonna get this ink off me.
Ah,
What the
I'm
fuck?
shifting the feeling.
Or I'll be a little bit. I will
You
body.
hear me though?
I will
It's the
body
same
make my whole
value.
body for the
It's
next
not,
week.
money don't, it's an illusion.
It's not an illusion.
If the ink you know, it's no good.
The concept.
But there's people that can get the ink off.
But you
I know
have
what you're
destroyed
saying.
the
You know what I'm
value.
saying?
Nigga, you destroyed it like that.
There's
Nigga,
people
they
that
already
can-
know, nigga, what this is. So you already killed
I
the
mean,
value.
you could rip $1 and niggas will still take it. They ain't gonna take the $50, but if you take it back up, they'll take it.
Well, you haven't destroyed it. You can still.
You put the ink on.
If
Everybody knows
if
the fucking
you-
ink.
If you
But
rip
there's
$1,
people
Nigga, what the
if
fuck?
you rip $1 in half and try to give somebody $50, you destroyed that dollar.
I mean, if you got $50, yeah, you got half
It's,
it in the
it's
hole.
destroyed no matter what because
No.
it's ripped in half.
You
You take it back
motherfucker
together,
And guess
it's
what?
still destroyed,
And
but
guess what? That's
I'm about to
value
beat
lost
y'all over
on
the
some of
head
the
already because y'all
currency.
don't know what currency is.
On that
Yo,
note,
nickel and dimes is currency because it's made with metal and
we
real.
gonna say the rest of this
Wait,
for next
so-
episode.
hold on.
So the metal
Hold
form
on.
of currency is okay.
We're finna go ahead and get up
That's
out of
not-
here. It's been a dope ass
So
episode.
5
All
cents.
of that shit still correlates.
Shout out AP, shout out
I never
Action,
said currency.
shout out
I just want to see
shout
y'all
out
okay.
Dave, shout out Damo,
Money.
shout out ADOC, even though he came in damn near hella late. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see y'all pay something with y'all mind. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
saying.
see y'all next week. We're looking for
With your mind.
studio time, shirts and shit. Come over here and get you some studio
Can I
time.
have the
Cali
money
Ray
for your
Studios. Go ahead and get you a shirt, get you the shit mixed and matched and all that good shit. You can holla at Devs, holla at
Can I have
AP, holla at Action.
Can I
Ash, oh, go ahead. do your
tell
thing.
these people that feel like it's an illusion to give me their dollars out their pocket? They still ain't gave it to me. It's an illusion. Y'all better come on, man.
You got my
Tell
boy back there?
them. Comment on your perspective social media
Action.
platform.
Get her unique whatever kind ashtrays and roller trays. Get some sage, you know what I'm saying? Get some candles. Get that good shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll holla at y'all next week.
Put your lighters up.
I'm out of here, bro. Brother.
A minute, bro.
I'm done in a minute.
Hey, it's what, bro?
All right, my brothers.
All right, now.
Good night.
All right, sis.
Dang! I said good night. You said as long as I was with you down here. Might be a little bonded in the song, but that's alright. Tell Lou I said bye.
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
This be like permanent.
Hater.
Right now, being mildly eating a steak burger, niggas mad. Don't hurt me. Lean pussy in your leg, then you don't work.
I'm out, y'all.
You out of here.
Get my ride outside.
Fuck up out of here, nigga.
Oh,
You come late anyway, nigga. Hey, and get a handle on your hoes, bro.
Ooh!
Go home.
Let them know.
You know what hoe, nigga.
Let them know.
On that.
Come leaving messages and shit, notes at the fucking door like you live here or some shit.
Hell no, nigga. She left a message?
We don't want to come here trying to laugh and have to see that shit, nigga. Stop taking shit from that bitch, bro.
Damn, what you got hers?
I ain't taking it.
Bro, anytime that bitch try to offer you nothing, you say no, nigga.
I'm talking to my guy on the block.
Bro, you better not, bro.
Nigga, she took her heart, now she want it back.
Bro, she tripping, bro. Let me go people notes and
She
shit.
took that nigga heart. He took her heart, now she want it back.
If she don't know where you live, she don't need to be knowing where the studio is.
I just know that. Yeah, see, all the hell chick pulling up here.